What make you interested in, creating a pillow? It's a very a niche product, feels like.
Yeah, so I think it really wasn't our plan to get into pillows or sleep space at all. So as I mentioned, I started an agency in 2017 creatively, and we were just working with lots of great startups, and we're having a lot of fun helping a bunch of companies to grow and scale and get more attention online. And then as we were doing that, we started to see all of our clients growing so quickly, and we started to say we should really think about doing our own company and our own product, and allowing ourselves um, to kind of take part in the growth of e-commerce and all these amazing products. And so we started trying to think about different products that we could launch. And I threw out this idea that I'd had growing up. My best friend was Japanese. And so his mom was telling me about different pillows. I was asking if I could have some more pillows at a sleepover. And she was telling me about, growing up, she slept on more of like a pillow box that was made out of wood, wrapped in a towel. And that idea just really stuck with me. And then in college, I had a friend with this couch that I loved taking naps on, and it was just had an armrest that was like that perfect height. And so I always just thought, like, man, it'd be cool if we had pillows that were a lot thicker. As a side sleeper, I really feel like pillows were never thick enough. I always slept kind of with my shoulder up or my arm up to try and kind of give more thickness to the pillow. So anyways, that was just an idea I'd had, and someone sent us some samples of some different mattress foam because we had some mattress companies that were pitching us to do their marketing, and they sent me some samples, and I put a couple of them together and made this like really thick. It was like 6-inch thick foam piece, and I laid on it and was like, oh, that's amazing, I love that. And so yeah, we really weren't planning on going into mattress. We actually were thinking about a lot of other ideas that we were going to launch, but this was just kind of like a fun idea that we thought like, oh, that's really cool. And it seems like there was some interest, and then we made some samples just really quickly, and started giving them to friends and family, and they like wouldn't give them back. Like they wouldn't return them. We were like, we want to give those to other people so they can try it too, and they were like, no, I can't sleep without it now. So we felt like we were onto something, and that was really kind of how it happened. It was really organic. It wasn't this like strategic, let's get into pillow. We'd worked with and talked to so many people getting into mattresses through this whole e-commerce craze with launching direct-to-consumer mattress companies, and so it was probably the place we wanted to go last. So it really wasn't our plan.
Right. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are thinking about, well, if we don't sleep well, we actually need a good mattress. But even myself, I've been searching a good pillow on the market for a while. Like me, my parents, we all have different needs for sleep.
Yeah,
I definitely noticed some people need a thicker pillow than others, especially for people with sleep apnea, right? Even
yeah,
doctors recommend people with sleep apnea should sleep on the side. And even like that's the position therapy. You even should have a pillow behind your waist to
yeah.
hold your side position. But I never really think about, oh, pillow can be designed just for side sleepers, which really great idea, I think. Uh,
Yeah.
mhm. So yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, that was really kind of the motivation, was that I think what happens for so many people is we all sleep differently, and we all have kind of different sleep needs. And so as we got into it, like for me, I traditionally really just like sleeping on my side. And so that original pillow was really nice. It was just a 12-inch by 12-inch by 6-inch cube. And then we did it in different thicknesses for different people. But as we got into it, we started to realize like, oh, there's all these different ways of sleeping that I think just never have really been focused on. Traditionally, I think most companies have kind of tried to design something that may be a little bit better for one group, but kind of works for every group. And I think that that's where Pillow Cube's been able to be really different, is we've really decided to be like, no, we're going to make a pillow that works just for this one specific group, and it will not work for the other groups. And then we'll make new pillows that fit those other groups as well over time. But yeah, our most popular pillow right now is the side sleeper, and it's that wider version of the original pillow, and it's really for people who just sleep on their two sides and go back and forth from their two sides during the night. And then we're launching, actually this week, we started launching a new pillow that's for people on their side and their back. And so when you roll from your side to your back, the back part of the pillow is much lower and kind of cradles your head. And so it has like this cutout for the back, so that you can have the full support you need when you're on your side, but then when you're on your back, it's low enough that it's really comfortable and cradles your neck.
I see. Yeah. What you mentioned your Japanese friends earlier and all these pillow designs remind me when I was younger. I'm from China. We had this very hard bamboo made square pillow as well. In China, we even have things made of China, right? From the glass, from the other materials. I remember they are really uncomfortable, mostly because they are hard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the angle. It's just material itself, because it's not soft at all. And when I was young, we just sleep on it, even no pillowcase. So I noticed the sample you sent me, even though it's still similar idea, but it's much more soft. It's like, I don't know whether it's memory foam inside or not, feels like it.
Yeah.
And I think I got a side sleeper one to try. I tried it for a whole week. I did notice when I lay down flat on my back, it's not as comfortable as if I sleep it on the side. So I'm glad to hear you guys are launching something can fit different needs, different positions.
Yeah. No, yeah, we'll have to get you that new sample so that you can try that out. But that was exactly the idea, is like, if you're a pure side sleeper, then you really need that thicker pillow. And people really, it's hard to sleep comfortably when you're stacking pillows, because stacked pillows just compress over the course of the evening. And so it just never worked. And so I wanted something that was much more supportive. We use a special type of memory foam that reacts to the weight put on it, so it pushes back. So it finds that balance of, kind of like you were saying, a good mix of being supportive, but then also being soft enough that it doesn't like hurt your ear. A lot of those pillows from other cultures, they're great support, but they're usually, like you said, made of hard surfaces. In Tonga and Samoa, they have a neck pillow that's made of wood, that's kind of a similar shape. It's a cube shape, and you lay it under your neck, and really supportive, not super soft and comfortable. And so that was like kind of the interesting thing that I started to realize, was like, all these other cultures, for them, a pillow actually usually is more cube shaped and supportive, but not as soft. And in the US and Europe, traditionally people liked more of a feather pillow that was really soft but not super supportive. And so it was trying to find that like perfect balance between the two. So anyways, so the original pillow was a cube, and that was really for people who just sleep on one side. It's really popular with like CPAP machine users, because it helps them to remember to not roll. So if they roll off of it, they kind of fall off of it, because it's just a 12 by 12 inch cube. That comes in different thicknesses. And then the wider version, the Side Sleeper Pro, that was for people who roll from side to side. But that is the feedback we've gotten from a lot of customers, is like, hey, if I sleep on my back, it's not comfortable, and it's not something that I want to do if I lay on my back. So that's why we're launching this new pillow that allows you to go from your side to your back. And that's really what we're focusing on, is launching new products that really go after a specific group. Because I think traditionally we've just split everyone up into side, back, and stomach sleepers. And most of us are not just one of those. Like, most people either sleep on their side most of the time, but then some of their time on their back, some of their time on their stomach. So that's our next pillow that we're launching this summer, is a side and stomach pillow that kind of adjusts for that person. So.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot of technology behind it, how to create a pillow like that. I did notice when I use the side pillow, I somehow feel like I keep the position. Like when I fall asleep, I'm on the side. When I wake up in the middle, I'm still on the side. So I don't know
Yeah.
whether it's something because the pillow keep me as a side sleeper more than before.
Yeah, that's really our idea. Is one, side sleeping through a lot of different medical studies has been shown. There's a lot of medical benefits to side sleep, especially if you lay on your left side. It's better for your heart. It's better for your digestion, for your stomach. So part of that pillow is like trying to keep people on their side. You can kind of go back and forth, but you kind of train yourself to sleep on your side, and that's really what we like to find and like to see, is people who are like, hey, I ended up staying in the same position pretty much the whole night and was super comfortable and didn't have to move around. And a lot of times that is the pillow. We focus so much, especially with this whole direct to consumer push and with mattresses. There's been a lot of focus on mattresses, and people are paying a lot of money for good mattresses, and then they sleep on a $20 pillow from Walmart. It's just not supportive. It doesn't fit what they need. And so that's kind of the movement we're trying to start, is like, let's focus more on the way our pillows are shaped. The way they're shaped traditionally is all just a holdover from when beds were made out of hay and feathers, and they threw all that in a sack, and what was left over they put into a smaller sack. And that's why pillows are shaped the way they're shaped, not because they actually are a good ergonomic fit for human beings. So
Right. And there definitely cultural difference, right? I
yeah.
know especially when my parents visited me from China, they first want a very hard mattress. The hardness gonna be very uncomfortable for my other friends. If they come to my guest bedroom, they're like, oh, this bed
Yeah.
is so hard, but my parents love it. And pillow the same. When I was in China, other than the square pillow, my parents normally, and or I know many older Chinese people, they would put a lot of hard kind of fiber kind of stuff into the
Yeah.
pillow, right? So that pillow has a very unique texture, and it's not very soft, but also it keep your head in a certain way. So, but overall, the pillow is still hard. So I think there's this kind of maybe generational or cultural preference for what kind of pillow people are looking for as well. Some
Yeah.
people like it harder, some people like it softer, in addition to the height. So for your pillow, you're adjusting the height, the support. Have you noticed people, your customers complain or different, how hard it is, or whether it's too soft for them? Do they want it harder or softer?
Yeah. So that's probably the hardest thing. And we've tried a lot. I mean, it looks, you get it, or even if you've seen it online, the pillow looks, it's a block of foam. It's a cube of foam. And so we've actually put a lot of time, even though it looks really simple, we've put a ton of time and energy into what's the right firmness, what's the right softness. And it's always challenging because, you change it and people say, I think it's too firm. And other people say, I think it's too soft. And so there's this balance of like, what's the right mix? And so we've tried to do a good job. We've also added cooling elements to the foam to help with making it so it's not super hot, because memory foam traditionally sleeps hotter. And so it's been a lot of work and fine tuning and fixing that people haven't seen behind the scenes to find kind of that perfect mix. We also use like a really high end memory foam. So traditionally in mattresses, usually kind of the base of the mattress is cheaper foam. And then they put in kind of a middle layer that's a little bit better. And then the top 1 or 2 inches is usually called the comfort layer, which is like the really high end foam. It's the best quality and the highest quality, and that's the foam we use. So we use a really, really high grade memory foam, so it's a good experience for people. And we also make it here in the US. So we try and create something that finds that kind of perfect balance of not being too firm, not too soft. But it is interesting to see those cultural differences. Like in the US, traditionally people like softer beds, they like softer pillows. In Asia, especially, they usually don't. They usually like much firmer things. And so we've tried to find something that really fits. And so far, like we've had just amazing responses where there are definitely a group of people who they're like a back sleeper, pure stomach sleeper is usually not going to like our pillows. They're just way too thick. But for people who spend any amount of time at night on their side, we really have been able to find that just like perfect mix through all of those things: foam, how thick it is, how fast it rebounds, the cooling materials we've added. We've tried to find kind of that perfect balance to solve side sleeping for them to make it way more comfortable.
Great. So you mentioned earlier that there's a lot of science behind side sleeper, like the benefit of sleeping on the side.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the results, the findings to our audience to help us understand what are some outstanding benefit of side sleeping position?
Yeah. So kind of like I was saying, so there's a lot of heart benefits. So your heart, by laying on your side, doesn't have to work as hard. I don't fully understand all of that, but especially on your left side, your heart's lower, so it doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood through your body. Also, because of the way our intestines are laid out in our body, digestion is actually easier to do while sleeping on your side. There's a great New York Times article that kind of explains a lot of this and why that is. Then there's also, sleep apnea, snoring usually are alleviated and sometimes can be completely taken away by laying on our side. And so really, like, that's probably some of the core benefits that we focus on. But we've also just seen a lot of interesting things as we've done studies with our users. We've done some sleep studies, also just some customer feedback. And we found that, like, as people sleep better, as they are in a more comfortable position, they dream more, which usually is a result of getting into deeper sleep. So they get deeper into like the REM part of sleep. And so they're able to dream more. And then, just overall not moving as much through the night. That's really our goal, is that like you were saying, like you would find yourself, you'd like, oh, I'm in the same position. By making it so that people aren't constantly having to readjust their pillow or double it up or squish it or, fold it in half, that instead of doing that, they are sleeping. And so by doing that, I think it just totally changes. And we've had thousands of people, tens of thousands of people just reach in, kind of telling us how much it's changed their life. Just this week, some random person on LinkedIn just sent me a message saying, you completely changed my life. Like, I haven't slept well in 20 years and now I can sleep at night. So that's really kind of why we do it, and why it's a passion for us and gets us excited, is because that really is what we want every person to be experiencing, is that they can really just sleep and remain in sleep and not constantly waking up and moving positions, so that they get better sleep and live a better life. So
that's great. That's making me wondering whether this kind of pillow can help people with other sleep disorders. I know there's so many different types of sleep disorder. We know clearly sleep apnea can be helped by sleeping on the side, but I'm wondering if the pillow can help people move less, whether, for certain limb movement disorders during sleep, whether that could be helped by the pillow too.
Yeah. So, like people have restless leg and different things where they kind of have to move, and that's really, I think, a lot of times comes from not being able to find a place where they're comfortable, a position where they're comfortable, And that is where, kind of like you were saying earlier, like pillows is definitely more of a niche than mattresses. Most of the big bedding companies are really primarily bedding companies or primarily mattress companies. And then they do pillows on the side. It's kind of like an afterthought of like, oh, well, it's also sells pillows. And that's where we've really tried to flip that and make it much more like we focus on pillows because we think it's a much cheaper solution. If you're getting bad sleep, you can go buy a whole new mattress, but even cheap mattresses are $500 to $1,000. Really good mattresses are $3,000 to $10,000. And so that's a really expensive thing to try, and then it might not work. And so we've tried to flip that to instead focus on like, let's focus on the pillow first, and find like that pillow that really fits your type of sleep. And that's why we're focused more on the ergonomic design. So like the new pillow that's for side and back sleepers looks just like a traditional pillow cube. It's a cube shape. But then on the one side of it, it has a scoop cut out of it that's perfect for laying on your back, and it cradles your head. And no pillow on the market that we've ever seen. We have, it's patent pending, but no pillow that we've ever seen has that ability to be that different in height between when you're on your side and when you're on your back. And so those are the things that we're trying to figure out, is how can we make it so that people can sleep much better by starting with the pillow and not necessarily focusing on the mattress.
Right, right. Yeah, there are so many things you can change in your sleeping environment. I think pillow is one thing, mattress is one thing, the blackout curtain is another thing, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, a lot of other things, the lighting system, the alarm clock, the white noise machine. There's so many different things.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see more and more companies and entrepreneurs really go into the sleep field to work together, make people sleep better. Because for sure, I think every single individual have different sleep need.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, I know there are a lot of side sleepers like myself, possibly can really benefit from something like this, really focus on this population.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes to the core of what we focus on at Pillow Cube, is we really try to focus on how people sleep in their body and how it's positioned. I think traditionally, most, especially in the last 30, 40 years, most of the innovation in the bedding space and even the sleep space has been around materials. So, memory foam was invented. The gel that Purple and other companies used was invented in the 90s. And so most of the focus has been on, even when you look at like sheets and a lot of these things, they're focusing on tensile versus microfiber, and it's all around materials. And that's where we feel like Pillow Cube's trying to lead out on, let's not focus as much on materials, because I don't think customers often that makes as big of a difference, but let's focus on the way people sleep, the ergonomics of sleep, and try and create products that better fit the ergonomics of how people sleep, and do that in ways that has real impact, so that it's not just, if you go into a bedding store or mattress store, a lot of times they're pitching you on like, well, this has feathers, this many feathers, and this has this many, or this has this thread count and this has this thread count. And really, a lot of times that doesn't get to the core problem of what people are experiencing and why they're not getting a good night's sleep. It's not usually, you're not getting a good night's sleep because you only have 500 thread count versus 1,000. Most human beings can't detect any difference between those two things. They can't guess which one has more threads. So we're trying to focus instead on like, what are those pain points that no one has solved? So we launched a version of sheets that completely redesigned sheets from the ground up, and we focused on what are the things that people hate about sheets. So we surveyed hundreds of thousands of our customers and got data from them around like, what do you hate about sleep in your kind of sleep routine? And the number one thing was sheets. It was the product that they were most frustrated with. And so when we asked them, it was like, well, I'm tired of how when I'm sleeping, the corners pop up. I hate that I play tug of war with my partner for the top sheet. And so we launched a new version of Sheets, which solves those problems, where it doesn't have a lot of those things. And so I think that's where we get excited is what are those problems with sleep that have just never really been focused on? Everyone's kind of talking about this fiber, this material, and we're instead saying, what are the things that haven't been solved and tackled? And let's go after those. So
Cool. Wow. Looks like you guys are really diving deeper and deeper to all the pain points people have about sleep. And
yeah,
then, create something to target each of this small pinpoint, which I think could be very meaningful, even if it does not apply to every single person. I'm
yeah,
sure it can help a big group of population.
yeah, yeah. That's really what we try to do is split people up and say, hey, this may not be for everyone, but we know that this group of people are just going to go crazy for it. And so like the side and back sleeper pillow, it really is only good if you sleep on your side and your back. If you sleep on your stomach and your side, it's not going to work for you. But we're okay with that because we're fine saying, hey, this is just for this one specific group, and for that one specific group it's going to provide an experience that's 20, 30, 100 times better than anything they've ever tried. And so we're okay with it not working for everyone as long as there's a group that really goes crazy for it. And that's what we've seen so far with the Pillow Cube. It's not for everyone, but the people who use it and love it are just crazy about it, and they talk about it all the time, and they share it with people. And so it's even been really fun just to see how many celebrities and musicians and athletes sleep on the pillow because it really kind of solves their problems for them.
Right. Yeah, everyone need a good night of sleep. So
Yep.
I think that's great. You guys are doing this. So thank you for sharing all this with us, with all the audience. If any of the audience are curious of your product and they want to buy it and give it a try, where can they find you? Where can they buy it?
Yeah, so they can right now go to pillowcube.com, and you can go on our website. We have all of our products there. We also have some of our products on Amazon. And then this year we're launching in a bunch of stores. And so there should be more places where they can try it in person. But as of right now, you can buy it online on our website or most retailers, Target.com, Walmart.com, most of those places also carry it. So yeah.
Great. Wow. Sounds like it's very easy for people to find it and try it and buy it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then if they want to use, there's a code that we've created for your audience, try 15, that allows them to get 15% off. So
Awesome. Thank you so much for generating the coupon
yeah,
code for the audience.
yeah, you bet.
Great. Okay, thank you. And I will, if you guys have any, social media account, anything, I will put all of them on the show note on the website. So everyone who listens to this episode will be able to find your information directly linked to the website to try it out.
Awesome. Sounds
Yeah.
great. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Jay. Yeah. Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
having me. Appreciate it.
Okay.